Hello students, in previous lecture we discussed theories of acids and bases, that is Arrhenius acid-base theory, Bronsted acid-base theory and Lewis acid-base theories. Now in this lecture we will discuss strength of acids and bases. So strength of acids and bases. Strength of acids and bases. Strength of acids and bases. You know that electrolyte, strong electrolyte, weak electrolyte. Similarly, strong acids, weak acids, strong bases and weak bases. Now first, that is the type of acids. There are two types of acids. Which are the two types of acids? One, that is strong acids. Strong acids. What are the strong acids? The acids which ionizes. The acids which ionizes completely. The acid which ionizes completely are called as the strong acids. What are the strong acids? The acids which ionizes completely are called as the strong acids. For example, HCl, HBr, HI, then HNO3, then H2SO4, then perchloric acid, HClO4, etc. These are the examples of strong acids. Why they are called as the strong acids? They are called as the strong acids because they ionizes almost completely. Ionizes almost completely म्हणजे काय? Suppose as we take any one of the strong acid, HCl, in aqueous medium, it get ionizes to gives H plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous. Then as we take the 1 mole of this HCl, जर आपण ॲसिडचा 1 mole घेतला, so out of 1 mole, that is near about 0.99 mole get dissociates. म्हणजेच काय? Dissociate or ionizes completely, and these are called as the strong acids. So remember the examples of strong acid, because these examples are very important to consider the types of salt. पुढे आपण salt चे type consider करणार आहोत. Second is that is weak acids. Now what are the weak acids? Weak acids, the acids which ionizes partially, or the acids which dissociate into small extent or ionizes into small extent. Which ionizes into small extent, ज्याचं आयोनायझेशन कमी प्रमाणात होतं, that is the weak acids. So what are the weak acids? The acids which ionizes in small extent or ionizes partially. Examples: hydrogen cyanide is the example of weak acid, then carbonic acid, H2CO3, it is weak acid. Organic acid like acetic acid, it is also weak acid. Formic acid, it is also weak acid. Benzoic acid, this is also weak acid. So these are the examples of weak acids. Strong acids, weak acid. Why they are strong? Because dissociates almost completely. Why they are weak? Dissociate into small extent or dissociate partially. So this is about the strong acids and weak acid. Then same criteria for the bases. Again consider the strong bases and weak bases. जो पार्ट आपण इलेक्ट्रोलाइट मध्ये डिस्कस केलेला आहे, strong electrolyte dissociates completely or ionizes completely. Ionization, this term is for polar covalent compound, and dissociation, this term is used for the salts. bases. So again there are two types of bases similar to acids, which are that one, that is the strong bases. Strong bases. What are the strong bases? The bases which dissociates almost completely, dissociates or ionizes almost completely, are called as the strong bases. Example, NaOH, KOH, cesium hydroxide. So as we go down the group, in first group, as we go down, base strength increases. So among these three bases, cesium hydroxide is the strong base. Also, that is barium hydroxide is also considered as a strong base. So these are the examples of strong bases. का म्हणणार याला आपण strong bases? Because all these bases almost dissociate completely or almost ionizes completely are called as the strong bases. Then second, weak bases. What are the weak bases? The bases which ionizes partially or ionizes into small extent, ionizes into small extent are called as the weak bases. Small extent म्हणजे ह्याचं आयोनायझेशन कमी प्रमाणात होणार आहे. फॉर एक्झाम्पल NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide is the weak base. Then that is another examples, that is calcium hydroxide, also weak base. Then magnesium hydroxide, it is weak base. Ferric hydroxide, all these are the examples of weak bases. Why they are called as the weak bases? Because dissociate into small extent, therefore they are called as the weak bases. And now next is the dissociation constant for acids and bases. Dissociation constant. Dissociation constant चा यूज कशासाठी होणार आहे? To express the strength of acids and bases. For given acid, this K value remain constant. For given bases, Kb value remains constant. So dissociation constants. Dissociation constant. Dissociation constants. For acid, this dissociation constant is the Ka. Now consider the one of the general acid. Suppose it is Ha. We consider the general acid Ha. This acid dissociates to give the H plus aqueous and A minus aqueous. Then according to the law of mass action, according to the law of mass action, what is the law of mass action? एक general reaction वरून सांगतो मी. Suppose this is one of the general reaction. A moles of one moles of A react with 1 moles of B, that gives 1 mole of C and 1 mole of D. मग law of mass action काय सांगतो? K is equal to concentration of C into concentration of D upon concentration of A into concentration of B. Square bracket represent the concentration. इनऑर्गॅनिक केमिस्ट्रीमध्ये किंवा फिजिकल केमिस्ट्रीमध्ये ज्यावेळेस आपण एखादे स्पेसिस स्क्वेअर ब्रॅकेटमध्ये रिप्रेझेंट करतो, दॅट रिप्रेझेंट द कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन. सो दिस के रिमेन कॉन्स्टंट. लॉ ऑफ मास ॲक्शन काय सांगतो मग? अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस लॉ ऑफ मास ॲक्शन, प्रॉडक्ट ऑफ कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ प्रॉडक्ट्स म्हणजे सी, इट इज द कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ सी, इट इज द कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ डी. प्रॉडक्ट ऑफ कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ प्रॉडक्ट, प्रॉडक्टच्या कॉन्सन्ट्रेशनचा गुणाकार आपण प्रॉडक्ट ऑफ कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ रिॲक्टंट, रिॲक्टंटच्या कॉन्सन्ट्रेशनचा गुणाकार. दिस रिमेन कॉन्स्टंट. सो व्हॉट इज द लॉ ऑफ मास ॲक्शन? इट स्टेट दॅट प्रॉडक्ट ऑफ कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ प्रॉडक्ट्स टू द product of concentration of reactant, that remains constant, and that constant is represented by the K. Suppose as we take the 2 mole of A, now your law of mass action become A raised to 2 raised to their appropriate power. Suppose it gives the 3 moles of C, we write the C raised to 3. So this is the law of mass action. This is the law of mass action. Remember this law of mass action जो आपण कुठल्याही रिॲक्शन साठी इक्विलिब्रियम मध्ये लिहू शकतो. मग आता व्हॉट इज दिस? दिस इज द वन ऑफ द ॲसिड. दिस ॲसिड गिव्स द H प्लस ॲक्वियस, A मायनस ॲक्वियस. मग आता लॉ ऑफ मास ॲक्शन नुसार काय होईल? दिस Ka और दिस K product, which are the products here? H plus and A minus. Now product of concentration of H plus and A minus upon concentration of reactant, and this remain constant, and for this acid or for acid this K is known as the K. What is meaning of K? Dissociation constant of acid. And very simple. If this acid is the strong acid, जर acid strong acid असेल, the extent of dissociation is more. म्हणजेच काय? Concentration of H plus and concentration of A minus is higher. आणि जर ह्यांचं concentration higher असेल तर higher is the value of K for given acid. So very simple. K remain constant for given acid. If acid is the stronger, higher is the value of K. Or if value of K is high for given acid, strength of acid is also high. So this K represent the strength of acid. Same for the base. So for this base, dissociation constant is represented by Kb. Kb is the dissociation constant of base. Consider the general, in general, BOH aqueous. This BOH aqueous, it gives B plus aqueous and OH minus aqueous. Why it is base? Because it gives the OH minus. Apply the law of mass action. What is the law of mass action? Concentration of B plus, जो square bracket मध्ये लिहिला मी, into concentration of OH minus, it is also in square bracket, upon concentration of reactant BOH, this remain constant, and this constant is for the base, म्हणून काय? Kb. So Kb is known as the dissociation constant of base. K is the dissociation constant of acid. So this is the dissociation constant for acids and bases. So remember the dissociation constant of acids and bases. And now next part, that is the important derivation, that is Ostwald dilution law. Ostwald dilution law. What is strong acid? What is weak acid? Strong base, weak base, you know very well. Now next part is the Ostwald law of dilution. Last period मध्ये मी सांगितलं तुम्हाला की what is ionic equilibrium or ionic equilibrium. Equilibrium in between the ionized and unionized species is the ionic equilibrium. आणि जनरली ionic equilibrium हा कुठे ऑब्झर्व करतो आपण? तर तो वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट मध्ये ऑब्झर्व करतो, म्हणजे वीक ॲसिड मध्ये किंवा वीक बेसिस मध्ये. So next part, that is the Ostwald dilution law. What is this Ostwald dilution law? Ostwald dilution law. Ostwald dilution law सर्वात महत्त्वाचं असतं की this Ostwald dilution law is applicable only for the weak electrolyte. Ostwald dilution law is applicable only for weak electrolyte. It is not for strong electrolyte. Ostwald dilution law फक्त आणि फक्त weak electrolyte लाच applicable असणार आहे का ते तुम्हाला आता डेरिव्हेशन मध्ये येईलच. Ostwald law of dilution. Ostwald law of dilution is applicable only for weak electrolyte. So weak electrolyte, suppose as we consider the weak acid or weak base. First we consider the weak acid आणि weak base साठी तुम्हाला करायचं आहे. So Ostwald dilution law for weak acid. Ostwald dilution law for weak acid. So consider the 1 mole of weak acid HA. We consider the weak acid, 1 mole of weak acid. So consider 1 mole of weak acid. Consider 1 mole of weak acid HA. 1 mole of weak acid Ha, it ionizes as this 1 mole of weak acid Ha, it ionizes in aqueous medium, which gives H plus aqueous and A minus aqueous. So what is this? It is the Ha, it is weak acid. Consider the 1 mole of weak acid Ha, it dissociates to give the H plus aqueous and A minus aqueous. According to the law of mass action, what is this? K is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of A minus upon concentration of Ha. It is equation 1. What is the meaning of K? Where K is the dissociation constant. What is K? It is the dissociation constant of weak acid Ha. If alpha is the degree of dissociation, or ionization, and V is the total volume of solution. What is V? Total volume of solution. V is the total volume of solution. Then we consider this same Ha in aqueous medium. It gives H plus aqueous and A minus aqueous. Now consider the initial mole. How many mole of Ha? 1. Initial mole means time is equal to 0, and when time is equal to 0, at that time no ionization means concentration of H plus or moles of H plus and A minus is 0. Then moles at equilibrium. So how many moles at equilibrium? त्यासाठी जरा इकडे लक्ष द्या. मोल्स ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम. आता काल मी सांगितलं होतं व्हॉट इज अल्फा. अल्फा इज द नंबर ऑफ मोल्स डिसोशिएटेड ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम. काय सांगितलं होतं? अल्फा इज द नंबर ऑफ मोल डिसोशिएटेड और आयोनाइज्ड ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम अपॉन टोटल मोल्स. देन सो नंबर ऑफ मोल डिसोशिएटेड ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम. इथं टोटल मोल किती घेतले तर आपण 1 मोल. मग आता अल्फा इज इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ मोल्स डिसोशिएटेड ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम अपॉन टोटल मोल. आणि आपले टोटल मोल किती आहेत? 1. म्हणजेच काय? अल्फा रिप्रेझेंट द नंबर ऑफ मोल्स डिसोशिएटेड ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम. मोल्स डिसोशिएटेड. अल्फा काय सांगतोय? नंबर ऑफ मोल डिसोशिएटेड ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम. हे तुमच्या लक्षात यायला पाहिजे. पाहता हे मी बाजूला, इट इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ डेरिवेशन, हे लक्ष द्यावं म्हणून सांगतोय मी. अल्फा इज द नंबर ऑफ मोल डिसोशिएटेड ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम अपॉन टोटल मोल्स. देन हाऊ मेनी टोटल मोल? आपण डेरिवेशनमध्ये किती घेतलंय? 1. मग टोटल मोल इज इक्वल टू 1, म्हणून अल्फा इज इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ मोल डिसोशिएटेड ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम. म्हणजेच काय की या व्हेन टोटल मोल इज 1, देन हाऊ मेनी मोल गेट डिसोशिएटेड ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम इक्वल टू अल्फा. म्हणून किती मोलचं डिसोशिएशन झालं तर अल्फा मोलचं डिसोशिएशन झालं. सो इनिशियल मोल किती होते? 1. मग डिसोशिएशन कितीचं झालं? अल्फा. सो हाऊ मेनी मोल्स रिमेनिंग ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम? 1 मायनस अल्फा. हाऊ मेनी मोल्स रिमेनिंग ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम? 1 मायनस अल्फा. कारण इनिशियल मोल किती होते? 1. हाऊ मेनी मोल गेट डिसोशिएटेड? अल्फा. हाऊ मेनी रिमेनिंग? टोटल होते 1. डिसोशिएशन झाले कितीचं? अल्फाचं. मग शिल्लक किती राहतील? 1 मायनस अल्फा. सो हाऊ मेनी मोल्स ऑफ Ha गेट आयोनाइज? अल्फा. So after ionization of alpha mole, it gives the alpha mole of H plus and alpha mole of A minus. ते सिंपल आहे. सपोज मी काय म्हटलं? Ha. सपोज Ha as we take the 1 mole of Ha, 1 mole of Ha मध्ये किती H plus असेल? 1 mole of H plus and 1 mole of A minus. सपोज तो पार्ट बाजूला ठेवू आपण. सपोज ऑल 1 मोल गेट डिसोशिएट. मग किती मोल तयार होतील H प्लसचे? 1 मोल ऑफ H प्लस आणि 1 मोल ऑफ A मायनस. टोटल मोल आहेत किती? 1. आपण म्हटले डिसोशिएशन. सपोज असं कन्सिडर करूया की दिस इज द H प्लस, दिस इज द A मायनस. मग हा H प्लस आणि हा A मायनस. H प्लसचा किती मोल? 1. A मायनसचा किती मोल? 1. आणि H प्लस आणि A मायनस एकत्र आले की काय देतील? HA. हाऊ मेनी मोल ऑफ HA? 1 मोल ऑफ HA. मग मी जर असं म्हटलं, जर याचं कंप्लीट डिसोशिएशन झालं 1 मोलचं, तर 1 मोल पासून काय मिळेल? 1 मोल ऑफ H प्लस, 1 मोल ऑफ A minus. If it is X mole get dissociated, how many mole get dissociated? X mole. So X mole of HA, after dissociation it gives the X mole of H plus and X mole of A minus. So very simple. How many mole get dissociated? Alpha. Total mole 1. How many get dissociated? Alpha. Then how many moles of H plus? Alpha. And how many mole of A minus? Alpha. हा पार्ट जरा महत्त्वाचा आहे. सो अल्फा मोल ऑफ H प्लस, अल्फा मोल ऑफ A मायनस. नाउ कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम. कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम. व्हॉट इज द फॉर्म्युला ऑफ कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन? सो कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम. व्हॉट इज द फॉर्म्युला ऑफ कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन? नंबर ऑफ मोल्स अपॉन टोटल व्हॉल्यूम, N/V. मग कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम म्हणजेच काय? नंबर ऑफ मोल्स ॲट इक्विलिब्रियम, नंबर ऑफ मोल्स at equilibrium upon total volume. So 1 minus alpha upon V. What is concentration of H plus? Alpha upon V. What is concentration of A minus? Alpha upon V. So this is the equilibrium concentration. This is equilibrium concentration. Simple. So this is the equation 1. And then this HA, it undergoes dissociation. It gives the H plus and A minus aqueous. इनिशियली किती मोल होते त्याचे? 1. इनिशियल मग टाइम t is equal to 0, no dissociation. Then after some time it undergoes dissociation or ionization and it gives the equilibrium. So how many mole get dissociate? Alpha. मी सांगितलं कसं ते. How many mole remaining? 1 minus alpha. Then how many mole of H plus? Alpha. How many mole of A minus? Also alpha. So what is concentration at equilibrium? 1 minus alpha upon V. Alpha upon V and alpha upon V. Therefore equation 1 becomes, therefore equation 1 becomes, so what is equation 1? Ka is equal to concentration of H plus. What is the concentration of H plus? Alpha into V. What is concentration of A minus? Also alpha into V upon concentration of HA. What is concentration of HA? 1 minus alpha upon V. Therefore we also write that K is equal to alpha into alpha, alpha square, V into V, V square, 1 minus alpha upon V. This V will get cancelled. Therefore Ka is equal to alpha square upon 1 minus alpha into V. But given acid is the weak acid. Given acid is the weak acid, and for weak acid value of alpha is very very small. So for weak acid 1 minus alpha close to 1, because for weak acid alpha is small. For weak acid alpha is small. So for weak acid alpha is small, therefore above equation become Ka is equal to alpha square upon V. K is equal to alpha square upon V. Therefore we also write that alpha square is equal to Ka into V. Now taking square root on both sides, so alpha is equal to square root of Ka into square root of V. K is the constant, therefore its square root is also constant. Therefore we also write that alpha is directly proportional to square root of V. And you know that is the V is inversely proportional to concentration. Therefore we also write that alpha is inversely proportional to square root of C. Why? Because always remember this 1 upon C is equal to V. So alpha is directly proportional to square root of phi, and alpha is inversely proportional to square root of c, because phi is equal to 1 by c. What is this phi? Phi is the volume. Here we say that it is a dilution. And what is c? C is the concentration. So this is the Oersted law of dilution, and it is the statement. So what is the statement that is in front of you? तुम्ही सांगू शकता. So this one, what is alpha? Degree of dissociation. What is phi? Volume. In law we say that it is a dilution. What is alpha? Degree of dissociation. Then what is V? We say that it is the dilution. And what is C? It is the concentration. So alpha is directly proportional to square root of dilution, or alpha is inversely proportional to square root of concentration. So what is the statement of Oersted law of dilution? So it state that, काय statement सांगतोय पहा, Oersted law of dilution, it state that degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte is directly proportional to square root of its dilution, or inversely proportional to square root of its concentration. This is the Oersted law of dilution. What is the Oersted law of dilution? The degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte is directly proportional to square root of dilution, or inversely proportional to square root of concentration. Now why it is applicable for the weak electrolyte, why not for the strong electrolyte? एक simple step मध्ये लक्ष दिलं तुमच्या. So see this, consider this step 1 minus alpha. If we take the strong electrolyte, आपण जर strong electrolyte घेतला तर अल्फाची व्हॅल्यू किती येईल? 1. Value of alpha close to 1. So 1 minus alpha means 1 minus 1, it become 0. And if it becomes 0, what is the K value? It become infinity, and it is the meaningless. Therefore Oersted law of dilution is not applicable for strong electrolyte. It is applicable only for weak electrolyte. So here we complete the Oersted law of dilution. Okay.